Long time, about 11 years in Venice now. I love it very much, and I don't like it being stepped on, as I've seen. I've been coming to VNC meetings for about 2 years now, and that's what got me interested. And instead of just talking about it ad nauseum with my friends and, just social media, I realized it's just a waste of time. And if I really want to have a voice, I gotta serve my community. So here I am as a homeowner, father with kids in school here, business operator, and I'm here to defend the quality of life for stakeholders.
I'm Christian Reed. I'm a 20-year resident of Venice, and frankly, I'm running for many of the same reasons. I think it was crystallized for me in the orientation session where we were told that the VNC is strictly an advisory body, that we have no power, and that we can't take the political risks associated with crossing Bonnet or going toe-to-toe with City Hall. And I fundamentally disagree with that. I think we are at a crucial junction in our history. We in fact need a wartime neighborhood council, and to have a wartime neighborhood council, you need members of the council who are ready, willing, and able to do battle with the entrenched interests at City Hall, the politicians, the special interests, increasingly in the social services sector. So like everyone else here, I love Venice. I think we're a world-class beach town, and I think we're all the better when we're an authentic expression of the talents, the energy, the passion, and the compassion of the residents who live here. And when that's fully and organically expressed, we're going to be a world-class place for the people who live here, for other residents of Los Angeles, and the world in general. But we can't allow our future to be determined by heavy-handed bureaucrats and politicians and special interests.
My name is Jane Page. I second what Christian just said. I was in the room as well too, and vocally said something about us, the statement that was made that we don't have power in the VNC. I think now is the time that we voice our concerns and come together as a community. I live on Rose Avenue and recently started the Rose Avenue Merchants Association so that we could create a community of small business owners. We're greatly impacted by things like parking, transportation, permitting. It's really tough for our small businesses to build and grow because of being handicapped by the process of permitting. So I believe that we need to be a voice for our small businesses in our community. Also public safety. My neighbor has small children and she doesn't let them go outside their front door anymore because it's not safe enough for them. This is their story. They are growing up, and this is the impression that they're getting from the Venice that they are growing up in. I think that's a concern. I also think that those of us who are homeowners are losing quality of life, and so I want to ensure that those housed and unhoused can work together or find a solution so that we can grow and love continue to grow and love the Venice community that we are a part of.
My name is Mark Ryback. I'm a 30-year Venice resident. I'm running because there's a great potential for the VNC to be more than it has been. I reject the proposal that Ivan made when he was meeting with us, and as Chris and Jamie pointed out, that we really are just advisory. I think the land use process and the land use committee and the VNC have shown that we have influence with the Planning Commission, with the Zoning Administration, with the Coastal Commission, and I think that we need to build upon that to make sure that the city does not ram down our throat a new Venice local coastal specific plan and a new land use plan which would change the warp and woof, as it's called, of our community. It would change the low-rise bedroom community nature. I was born and raised in Santa Monica. I went to UCLA. My first job was as staff to the Los Angeles City Council. One of my first assignments was to the Planning Committee. I've gone on to have a career as a public affairs consultant, and I've worked on a variety of issues over the years, and a long history as a coastal activist, helping found American Oceans Campaign, which is now Oceana. Here in Venice, I joined with my colleague Jim Mures to plant the 21 Italian stone pines around the post office 28 years ago, or 29 years ago. And we recently revisited that site, and I was one of the leaders that installed 55 planter boxes that beautified the area, and also removed a very problematic 20-person homeless encampment. And I would like to do more of that to provide buffers for residents from those kind of encampments. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robert Thibodeau. I served on the VNC for the last 3 years. And I think our major role is to listen to the community and to serve as an outlet for the community to be able to voice concerns to us, and then we take it up the ladder to the councilman's office. Really, I don't think we should be pushing personal agendas. I think it's more a case of us listening to the neighborhoods, whichever side they're on, and then reflecting that and kind of verbalizing that to Bonan's office or the coastal commissioner, whoever's kind of the right person at that point in time. I do believe our responsibility is to listen to the stakeholders, that being the renters and homeowners and business owners here, and then if there's still room for other people, then that's fine. But I think that the people who live here come first. And if I'm elected again, I will promise to take it responsibly, like I did the last 3 years. I think I showed up to 35 of 36 meetings. I don't know anybody else who did. And I'll listen to the people around me. I'm personally interested in the Lincoln Corridor. It's where I run my business. I think we've got a lot of problems there, just in terms of cleanliness and safety, and the impact it has on the community on both sides of Lincoln Boulevard. That's sort of my primary focus, and I'll continue that if I'm elected again. Thank you.
Hi, so my name is James Mures. Born and raised in Los Angeles, in West Los Angeles. Moved to Venice in '89. Started a family here, had 2 children. They went through LA Unified. Started the farmers market back in '87, actually, before actually moving here, and have been operating it ever since. I serve on a commission at the state level for farmers markets, and I'm chair of one of their committees also. So I sort of oversee 850 farmers markets. I have been involved in many different projects in the community. Mark mentioned one. It was an outreach project of the Venice Farmers Market where I applied for for state funding to plant trees in Venice, and I ended up planting a little over 1,500 trees, including all of the trees on Venice Boulevard from Lincoln to Pacific. I've been involved in tree planting since high school, when Andy Lipkus, the founder of Tree People, and I used to go up to Latigo Canyon and start sprouting trees and planted them in the Angeles Forest. I have been doing all kinds of projects like that. I was involved in a community group before there was Venice Neighborhood Council, which was actually Grassroots Venice back in the early days, that was responsible for starting the farmers market and did a lot of other good projects, including the tree planting, the sponsoring of the tree planting project. I've been chair of the Parking and Transportation Committee for the last 3 years. Got a whole lot of things done there that I think have been very valuable, and I would like to continue to do much of the same. Thank you.
Hi, my name is James Robb. I've been a Venice resident since 1986. I've lived North Venice, South Venice, Boardwalk, kind of all over Venice. I kind of got into this whole political type thing when I lived behind the LA Louvre right now, and I've lived there for about 17 years. And one day I saw a young guy, owner of Snapchat, Evan Spiegel, up on the roof of the building, and the next day I noticed a change of zoning sign on the front of the building, and that kind of got me into the political fray that I'm continuing to this day. I started a group with a couple other people that are here called the Venice Dogs, and we basically gave them hell for about 2 years on every avenue and way that we could to get them out of the 37 plus buildings that they took over on the boardwalk, including moving residents out of apartment buildings and mass transiting people that were afraid to walk down the boardwalk to their parking spaces in Marina del Rey. So fighting really hard for Venice, been fighting for quite a while, and have a lot of allies out here, and have went to many meetings with a lot of you people, and I just want to try to get my foot in the door and try to keep doing what we're doing and keep fighting for Venice. So hopefully I'll get your vote.
Hello, I'm Alex Newman. I'm a lifelong resident of Venice. My mom moved here a long time ago because she was the only place she could afford the rent, ironically. I've been on the board since November. I've served on the community outreach committee as well as the AdCom committee. I've got 2 minutes, so I'm just going to tell you what I believe, which is I believe that services are the solutions to homelessness, not moving people. I believe we need fewer chains in Venice. I don't think we need any hotels in the city. We have a housing crisis. We need to house people. I think that the VNC does know better than the city. That's the reason why we have the VNC. It's to advocate for our needs. I think that the scooters are just fine. We just need more sensible solutions to get them out of people's way and not put them on the boardwalk or the bike path, specifically the bike path. I feel like the way that stakeholder is defined right now puts an unequal amount of influence in the hands of business owners, and this is a community of homeowners. I don't feel like this community should be run by businesses. Houses are too tall. That's me. I'm Alex Newman.
Hi, my name is John Reed. I first got involved in the community in 2007 when I purchased a small property on Rose Avenue. I built a small architectural studio and then 2 residences above. I lived in one. Shelley McPherson sort of got me involved in saying, why don't you get involved in the neighborhood council? So I ran for the Land Use and Planning Committee and was on that committee for 6 years. Then after that, I decided to run for the VNC, and I've been on the VNC for 3 years. I've done 6 buildings on Rose Avenue. Those buildings were 2 stories, all fronting Rose, and then 2 of them were 3 stories in the back. I think that's the scale of those projects were pretty consistent for what really Rose Avenue and Venice, should be. I think we're in a major housing crisis, and there's a fact that I think most people don't realize, and that's in the last 5 years. We've had fewer than as in terms of apartment buildings, we have had literally 1 apartment building built, and that was for 9 units on Venice Boulevard. So we're in this terrible housing crisis. We've had several condominium projects built, but very little rental housing. So I think there needs to be some sort of give and take in terms of where we put the housing, where should the housing go, and do we need more housing? And if the question is no, we don't need more housing, then I think that's a format that we should, discuss and say enough is enough. So, but I think there should be clear, reasoning on where the housing should go and how tall it should go.